Good morning. This is your host, Christopher Decker. Today we're speaking with Azaan, and he's facing a unique situation right now. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Azaan. I'm the founder and chief happiness officer at the Hub Bengaluru. We're a co-living, co-working, and shared event space startup in Bangalore, India.
Okay, so we got to talking, and you mentioned you spent four years here in Los Angeles, going to USC. You went back home to India, and what happened next?
It was, when I went back to India, it was the same time when there was a big startup boom going on over there. Our prime minister was just implementing a lot of startup-friendly policies. There were lots of interesting ideas floating around, people coming back to India, starting cool new startups. So it was an exciting time to be there. And I remember I kept thinking, how could I play a role in just being part of this booming ecosystem? And one thing led to another. One of my family businesses was an underperforming hotel. And I guess we just came up with this idea that everyone was doing co-working. So why don't we try and do co-living? And then fast forward 3.5 years, and we're into co-living, co-working, and events. We have 100 beds in co-living. We have 250 seats in co-working, and we manage 8 event spaces.
So walk me through how that works. So co-living, you're bringing entrepreneurs into a community where they're actually then staying. So how are you solving for all of that?
So it's kind of like how you would imagine a dorm to be like in the US or in any part of the world. We're just catering to a diverse group of people. So if you look at co-living now, it's kind of fragmented. It's matured almost over the last 2 years. You have spaces that cater just to students. You have senior co-living, which is looking at managed care for elderly people. But when we started, we decided we want to always be inclusive, a diverse community. So our youngest member, for example, is 18. Our oldest is 69 right now. So we have all kinds of people. We have entrepreneurs, we have artists, we have a lot of artists. We have people that are just working a corporate job. So we have an interesting mix of people that stay with us.
Okay, so the topic right now, managing that community, you just added a tab on your website today called Digital Community. Why did you have to add that tab? What's going on in your neck of the woods right now?
Yeah, so we're trying to stay positive and kind of get our creative juices flowing. We built our entire business, or all 3 of these businesses, on the single premise of bringing people together. So community, everyone coming together, staying together, working together, attending events together, and kind of just like be an offline network of amazing things. And then a few weeks ago, I don't know if you've heard about this coronavirus thing that's floating around. It came knocking on our door, and every country is responding to it differently. I think we're super proud of the way India is dealing with the situation. We're currently on day 3 of a 21-day complete countrywide lockdown. So all businesses, non-essential to basic necessities, have to be shut down. Everyone has to work from home. And that's the step that our prime minister has decided to kind of curb the spread of the disease. So we're impacted really, really heavily by this, because our co-living space, most of the people have moved home, but the few people that are left there are locked down in the property. We have co-working that's completely shut down. We had over 20 events that we had to reschedule or cancel. So we're just pretty much trying to do damage control at this point.
Okay, so what you mentioned earlier, we were talking offline. 2 weeks after what was happening in China, kind of came to India, and then India immediately implemented a curfew. What happened next?
Yeah, so it kind of went from like China to Europe. Like Italy was like a week or 2 after China, and then it went to I would say it's in the US. It's happening right now, and India is expecting that it's going to come to India next, because it saw the same numbers that before it got too late. So I guess we decided as a country that we want to be a little ahead of this thing, and considering population density in India, I think it was needed, because America has like 300 or 400 million people, but it's 4 times larger than India in terms of land. India has 1.3 billion in one-third the space of the US. So you can imagine how densely populated our cities are. So social distancing is so important in such a situation that we all have no choice but to comply and say it's for the greater good of everyone.
Wow. And what you were sharing also is that people in India, they complied. They went along with the program really, really quickly.
Yeah, it's amazing because I remember reading an article saying that praising the prime minister, because he started getting people used to this idea by doing something called a Janata curfew, which was literally like a voluntary curfew, which you can take part in and kind of do it out of national pride for the good of your country. And he did that on a Sunday from morning to night. Something that was very unique about it is that he literally got people so engaged in just staying home and not doing anything that at 5 p.m. he asked the entire country in the middle of the curfew to go out into your balcony or to go to your front door and start making clapping plates or playing music for 5 minutes to clap and appreciate for all the medical doctors and the first line of defense as a country that we had that's fighting this virus. So it kind of got everyone rallied up, spirited up for that we're doing this for a reason. We're doing this for a cause.
Wow, I'm almost crying. That's like a beautiful spirit and pride of community. And I'm gonna have to be honest, I don't see that here in the United States, in California. We're too rebellious. We're all like fighting back, and we definitely don't. I'm not feeling that unity.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's complicated, right? Because we all want to help. We want to do what's right, and we're scared. But I guess this is where I feel like leadership has a role to play. And for all the pros and cons that people talk about India and Indian people and Indian politics, it's just been such a positive way that everyone has come together to deal with this and say that, okay, parties aside, we need to take preventive steps, because it's not easy to do it before the problem strikes. Usually that's the phase where people are disagreeing. I need to get the credit. I want to do this. No, we went straight for it. And that's been pretty amazing, because after Sunday, it kind of acted as a model where it showed people we can do this. Everything is calm. Everything is good. And then a couple of days later, we entered something that we're in day 3 of now, which is a 21-day complete lockdown of the country.
Okay, so complete lockdown. I mean, what is a complete lockdown? What can you do? What can't you do?
So it's all happening so fast that even as people, it's so confusing. Where do I go to get my groceries? Am I going to be able to order food in? But it's even more complicated if you're a business owner, because when Sunday happened, the 1-day voluntary ban, people kind of knew that what direction this is going in. So they kind of stocked up. They had their stuff, and no one's starving, right? That's not what's really going on for majority of the people. But as a business operator, it's been really stressful. Like, I have friends that work for big companies, friends that are doing startups. Our team personally, we still don't know a lot of things, and that's okay. I'm not trying to criticize the government or anything like that, but it's just a ground level reality. We don't know if our business can be open or not. We don't know if our members can order in food, or are they allowed to go out, because everyone's supposed to stay in their rooms now. There's a lot of this stuff that we're trying to figure out. And I think every day we're getting answers to our questions. So today, for example, the government came out and said they're going to issue passes for people. So only if you work for Amazon or you work for one of these food delivery startups, you're going to get a pass. Only if you're driving trucks or you're part of the government, then you get a pass, and then you get to go out if you have that pass. If you don't have that pass and you go out, you're going to get into trouble.
Got it. Okay, so there's a system being developed.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's bring this back to the hub here.
Mm-hmm.
So you've started a new division of Instagram virtual events, and now you're building community online because you have such a beautiful, vibrant group of people, creative people, entrepreneurs, all walks, all shapes and sizes, all different kinds of countries and places in the world coming together,
Mm-hmm.
and now they can't be together. So what's next? What are you going to do?
Yeah, so they say, as they say, necessity is the mother of all invention. The first day that we started to work from home as a team, we just kind of opened up Zoom and we were staring at each other's faces and we were like, what are we going to do? Because co-working is shut down, events have been canceled. The few people that are stuck in the building co-living, we can't get there, they can't get out. So what do we do? And literally, this whole concept and idea was born out of how can we make their time in social distancing, in quarantining? How can we make their time more make it easier for them to pass time? And if we can do that, then they're more likely to comply as opposed to getting out and trying to, which a lot of people were doing at that point of time, which is dangerous for everyone, right? So we just kept discussing and brainstorming, and it just came to us. We said the thing we do best that brings everyone together is events. So we have an amazing community and network of people that conduct workshops, event organizers, big companies, small startups, influencers, all of these people that are experts in their own domains. And we said, why don't we just, we already have a pretty decent Instagram. Let's take it online and let's open it up to everyone, because everyone is stuck at home and everyone is trying to find something productive to do. So we just kind of went with it, and the next day we started with we hit someone up and we said, hey, you've done yoga with us before, are you down? Let's just try it out, let's see how it goes. And it went amazing. We had 300 live views. People were interacting. They were saying, how often is this going to happen? What's next? What other kinds of events you do? And we literally just started boom, 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 DMing everyone that we've ever worked with, saying, we're starting this new thing. We don't know if it's going to work or not, but it's just going to take half an hour of your time. Let's give it a shot. So that's how virtual events kind of just is in the process of being born right now.
Yeah, thank you. I want to attend one of those. So make sure that I can have a link next time. I'll go follow you on Instagram. I want to experience that. So I want to share a quick story about virtual events. Is that actually I hosted one yesterday, and we had Delhi Rani, a former BBC news anchor, and we had Adam Cleveland, and then we had two guests. We had a venture capitalist, and then someone who runs a manufacturing company. And we used LinkedIn events. We had 180 RSVPs. We had 100 people watching across the different social platforms at the same time. Wow. And then now it's just continuing to get traction. Right. And so I'm like, wow, we actually were able to create a digital event that people showed up and attended. So how do we scale?
I want to show you, our minds are blown, right? So here we are thinking this is the biggest blow to our business that's going to come. What are we going to do? And literally, we've gained 700 followers in the last 5 days.
Wow.
We've had, where's the activity numbers? Yeah. We've had 110,000 account reach and 4,000 unique profile visits all in 1 week. And this, we're not a digital business. We're like an offline community space.
What's the handle? I'm going to put it on the bottom of the screen right now. What's the handle?
It's called The Hub Bengaluru.
The Hub Bengaluru. So BENGALURU.
Yeah.
So it's THEHUBBE. So there's two B's?
No, just one B. One BEN. Ben.
So the THEHUBENGALURU.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. There are two B's. Yeah, you're right. The Hub Bengaluru.
All right. So I'm going to put that on the bottom really quick. So that make sure go and follow that. you can see some of the magic there. I'm going to leave that up on the screen for a couple of additional moments. Okay, so how about yourself? So you're as an entrepreneur, right? We have to sort of manage our leadership and ourselves. How are you doing that right now?
I think the one thing that I told my team is that we can't plan for something we don't know. We don't know how this virus is going to affect us. We don't know what kind of policies the government is going to come out with to help us, what kind of restrictions we're going to be operating in. But the one thing we know is that we're going to kind of approach this with creativity and positivity, because that's always worked for us as a startup. And the one thing we're trying to protect is that we're not going to lay off anyone, and we're not going to have salary cuts, especially for like the people earning up to a certain point that are doing like our housekeeping and the people that are really on the backs of whom we've built this business. So that's kind of like the thing that is motivating us to kind of find another revenue stream, find another way to kind of survive in this 2 to 3 month period that we're anticipating this whole mess is going to last.
Any closing thoughts? Any additional pieces of hope for people around the globe that might be watching this?
I think I've been obviously looking at LinkedIn, and I've been researching how other community spaces are trying to handle this problem, because it's a global pandemic, right? There's co-living spaces, co-working spaces, companies like Uber, Shed, everything. Almost all companies nowadays have that shared component to them, right? So I think across all disciplines, the one universal thing that kind of seems to be the thing that everyone is saying we should do that's really important is that all the stakeholders need to work together. So in our case, for example, the landlord, the co-living space operator, and your members or your tenants, you all have to find that middle ground as to everyone has to give up a little bit if everyone is going to survive and get out of this okay. So I think just knowing that we have to work together as a team and be flexible and kind of be human, right, with each other, is what's going to get us through to the other side.
Amazing. Well, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and end the live broadcast now. But before I do that, go follow on Instagram, the Hub Bengaluru. It's on the screen right now.
And let me tell your viewers a couple of the interesting events we have coming up. So we have yoga every day. We have a creative writing workshop. We have a Goa trance music set that's happening. And we have lots of interesting workshops like digital marketing and stuff like that. So it's really, really fun, different kinds of events. If you guys are bored sitting at home, you want to learn something or just be fun and interactive with someone, come join us.
Awesome. Okay. One of my favorite episodes ever. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.